Excellent. And we'll just get that video queued up for everyone.
Wow, we're back. What a great video. I always get shivers. Good evening, fellow Rotarians and guests, and thank you for taking part in our special evening where we welcome our incoming District Governor to be Dr. Michael Lawrie for the coming year 2020-21 and celebrate the truly astonishing accomplishments and achievements of our current District Governor Lesley. As mentioned, my name is John Gilbasi, and I'm honored to be your master of virtual ceremonies tonight. And in recognition of our good fortune in the lands that we at District 70 cover, we will start the program by inviting John Lomax from the Rotary Club of Brampton and chair of the Indigenous Resource Committee to offer a land acknowledgement. John? You might have to mute yourself.
How's that?
There you go.
There we go. Okay, so we will begin this event by acknowledging that we were meeting on this beautiful land that we call home, land that had been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. Rotary District 7080 had been occupied for centuries by many nations and tribes of the First Peoples. These are the Anishinaabe, which we call Ojibwe, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, which we call Iroquois, and the Attawandaron. These territories are covered by various Canada and Haldeman treaties signed by the Mississaugas of the New Credit. We pay tribute to the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples as we work to understand their ways and build a partnership that will benefit us all. Thank you.
Thank you, John. So it has been a tradition in our district to honor our past district governors that join us during our changeover events. So please hold your virtual applause while we do introduce those that have joined us tonight. In order of dates of service, Barry Howie, 2000, 2001, Rotary Oakville, Trafalgar. In 2001, 2002, Paul Truex, Rotary Club of Guelph. John Stairs, 2004, 2005, Rotary Burlington North. Doug Vincent, 2005, 2006, Rotary, Woodstock, Oxford. Sid Harmon, 2006, 2007, Rotary, Brampton, Heart Lake. Norm Binden, 2008, 2009, Rotary, Brampton. Bob Palmetier, 2009, 2010, Rotary, Bolton. Bernd Dinner, 2010, 2011, Rotary, Kelowna. Ian Ferguson, 2012, 2013, Rotary, Fredericton, Sunrise. Mike Gauthier, 2013, 2014, Rotary, South Georgian Bay. Patsy Marshall, 2014, 2015, Rotary, Guelph Trillium. Will Pugh, 2015, 2016, Rotary, Burlington Lakeshore. And last but not least, Kathy Dick, 2017, 2018, Rotary, Mississauga. Also joining us tonight from the Rotary Club of Toronto is past District Governor Neil Phillips. Justin Coranto from he's District Governor for District 7255. And our guest speaker later tonight, past District Governor Michael Caruso. Fellow Rotarians and guests, those are our past District Governors attending tonight. Also, we introduce our current year's Governor team. Joining me tonight, come on up, Sandra. You see, yep. Myself as an immediate past District Governor, and my wife, Sandra. District Governor nominee, designate Sandia Miney from Rotary, Burlington North. District Governor nominee, Rudy Habesh, Rotary, Oakville, and his wife, Lena. District Governor-elect Dr. Mike Lawrie, Rotary, Cambridge South, and his wife, Louise. And this year's District Governor, Lesley Barmania, Rotary, Mississauga, Meadowvale, and her husband, Aziz. Fellow Rotarians and guests, the 2019-2020 Governor team. We'll ask both Lesley and Mike to introduce their families who have also joined us tonight. Lesley?
Thank you, John. I'd like to first introduce my oldest daughter, Anila. And Anila, if you can unmute and just say something. Oh, all right. And my son, Faisal, joining from Milton. By the way, Fess, thanks for helping with the video that we're going to see later. Farah, my youngest daughter, joining from Aldershot. Jamil, youngest of Aziz's sons, joining us from Australia. Thanks, Jam, for joining. And he probably has his daughter, Liliana, our granddaughter, with him. And Aziz's brother, Dr. Yakub Barmania, and he's calling in from Toronto. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Lesley. And Mike.
Thank you, Moderator John. I'd like to welcome my two brothers, brother Jim and his wife Janet. Also, brother Robert and his wife Judy, visiting from Toronto. Louise's brother Donald Payne, Dr. Donald Payne, is on the line. And I believe our son Cameron is on his camera phone from Kitchener. So those are the ones that we would like to identify and welcome. I don't think we've missed anyone.
That we can see.
Well, hello to everyone, and thank you for joining us. Your parents and family, you've got to be awful proud of them. So what a year it's been. How do you plan for COVID-19? Talk about having to adapt and change. Last year, District Governor Lesley introduced us to the theme, Rotary Connects the World. Did we connect or what? Who could have predicted we would be meeting like this? We hope you enjoyed connecting with fellow Rotarians during our virtual cocktail hour, maybe making some new friends, having a drink. We have a great program this evening with music and fantastic speaker, a few special district awards, Leslie's reflections, a changeover charge, banner exchange, and of course, the inaugural address by our incoming Governor, Mike. During the awards section of this evening, we will be recognizing individuals who have gone above and beyond to support the governor in district affairs during this very unpredictable year. Other individuals and club awards will be presented either at the district conference on October 3rd or at a separate event in the coming Rotary year. At this time, please take a moment as we honor members lost during the year, yet with us in spirit tonight. We'd like to recognize Leanna Chu, a Rotary actor in Oakville, Burlington, and a Rotarian at Rotary Passport South. Norma Gamble, also of Rotary Passport South, who put together a memorial video. Thank you for that very moving tribute. Now, with great pleasure, I introduce our guest speaker, Michael Angelo Caruso, who will share some inspiration and thoughts. Michael is a former musician, which uses an entertaining speaking style to help leaders, salespeople, customer service teams, and Rotarians around the world. Michael's clients include the Bank of America, Verizon, AT&T, the National Institutes of Health, the Barbados Ministry of Tourism, and the United States Navy. He's the author of the book Work Hacks and has a very successful online speaker coaching program called Present Like a Pro. Michael's a lifetime Rotarian in the Troy Rotary Club of Michigan, was District Governor of District 6380 in 2016 and 17, and is currently the Rotary Public Image Coordinator for Zone 29. Dozens of Rotary clubs in North America have posted Michael in his public professional development programs, where he's raised over $250,000 for Rotary, because Michael donates his speaking fee back to his host club. So please welcome Michael Caruso.
Thank you very much. Please sit down, everyone. It's so good to see so many familiar faces. I had the great pleasure of speaking at your Twin Pets last year, just before the pandemic was declared. And it's been a long, dark, it was like the longest April ever. So it's been a long tunnel that we're coming through. And I'm just so proud of Rotarians everywhere for finding resources and ways to stay connected. Some of us have been using Zoom a long time. I introduced Zoom to my district here in 6380 in 2015 because I just knew it would be a good way to spend more of our Rotary attention units on actual progress and actual productivity. But it's such a pleasure to see so many people jumping into the Zoom swimming pool, granted because of the pandemic, because of COVID-19, but nonetheless, and you could see it in the breakout rooms tonight. I had the pleasure of being in a few of them, and just to see the warm smile on people's faces, you don't see that very often anymore, and you certainly haven't seen it for the last few months. So it was very heartwarming, and I want to thank Mike Lawrie for inviting me to say a few words to you tonight. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, these are interesting times. I don't think we're nearly done with them yet. We're going to have to be resourceful. We're going to have to be efficient. We're going to have to be patient. But fortunately, these are all qualities that Rotarians pride themselves on. We are not going to have to adjust as much as most people in the world are. We have temperance. We have civility. We have etiquette. We have civility. And it just makes me proud to be a member of an organization that has changed the world so much and changed my personal life so much. Some have said that the COVID-19 pandemic has put us at a fork in the road. Some have said that a lack of physical meetings has put us at a fork in the road. Others with a longer view have said that our aging organization has put us at a fork in the road. Many of our districts, mine included, has been rezoned recently because of this pesky membership problem that we have in North America. And in fact, all of Michigan will be joining Canada in what's to be called Zone 28 starting on July 1st. And it's my pleasure to do what I can to lead the way as public image coordinator for Zone 28 in the eastern half of our district. I'll be sharing the position with Michelle O'Brien. Some of you know her from Alaska. My point is, ladies and gentlemen, that there's always a fork in the road. Every day when you get up, there's a fork in the road. Should you go right or should you go left? Would you like to take the sunny side of the street or the shady side of the street? Would you like to do the right thing, or would you like to take some chances and maybe do the wrong thing? I'm confident with leaders like Mike Lawrie coming into the saddle and our new Rotary director, Valerie Wafer, that we're all going to make better decisions than we would make under normal conditions. But Rotary somehow always takes the right path, and I'm just so grateful for that. I want to say something special to the presidents-elect that are on the call today. I know a lot of you are getting ready to take office, and some of you may feel overwhelmed. Some of you may be saying to yourself, why me? Some of you might be saying to yourself, why now? With all of the stuff that's going on, this is not going to be an easy time to herd the cats. And yet I have a saying I've been using in Rotary for a long time, which is Rotary never asks you to do something that you're not capable of doing. So even on the day that you think you're not up to the task, or that you don't have the skill set, or that you're not the right person for the job, I want you to know that I believe in you and others believe in you, and you should believe in yourself, because you indeed can get the job done. We wouldn't have asked you to do it if we didn't think you could do it. So please remember that during what might be some dark days ahead. There are 4 things I want to share with you before I finish my talk tonight. I'm very fortunate to be on the Rotary speaking circuit now for 2 decades, doing keynotes at zone events and multi-district pets and multi-district conferences, and even speaking at the International Convention. It's been my pleasure to do so. And people ask me on social media, I get phone calls about this. They say, what should we do next? Because we're at that fork in the road. And there are, I think, 4 things that Rotary should do next. And you can play a role in this to the extent that you care to. And if you want to write them down, we can talk about them more in chat. We can do some quick Q&A. I'll stay on afterwards to answer questions in chat. But these are the 4 things I think Rotary should do next. Number 1, I think we need to shore up communications. In the military, they call it comms, communications. So we need to shore up comms. And that means texting, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook Messenger. We need to get really good at bulk email. And I think this is really important for incoming presidents. They have to have a way to communicate with the people that are most important to them, whether it's through a newsletter or a very active Facebook page. But by shoring up comms, you can actually have half of a chance to communicate with the people you need to get the message to. I feel very strongly about this. And by the way, good old-fashioned phone calls still work. I was using the computer the other day, and somebody emailed me and they said, is it okay if we have a phone chat sometime? And I sent back, sure, why don't you just call me? And people text me to ask my permission to call me. And I never understand this. One guy called me last week. He said to me, I was on the phone with him, right? I'm on the phone, and he says, geez, I was wondering if it would be okay if we talk sometime. And I'm like, how about now? Because we're on the phone. Let's do it. But there's like this new thing in society where we feel like we have to get permission all the time to reach out to somebody. How about this? You make a promise to me not to waste my time. I'll take your call anytime you want to call, day or night. And if you can make that bargain with people, I promise never to waste your time. They will take your call, and you don't need to text them and ask permission. Just call up your mate and have a conversation. I think it's really important. I think it's especially important during these dark days of COVID-19 where we feel so disconnected. I feel so strongly about this. I set up a Facebook group especially for connecting with Rotarians to share high-end marketing techniques that will help you grow your club, raise more money, and get attention for the greatest service organization in the world. I'm going to invite you to join that group right now. The group is called Get the Word Out Now. If you just go to Facebook and search the group, it comes up. You have to be admitted to the group because we don't let bots in. We don't let fake people in, right? And when you get to this group, you're going to find that it's not like a pigeon Facebook group. You know what pigeons do, don't you? They just fly over and they drop stuff and they fly away. They don't even check the thread to see what's happening. And we have deeper conversations in this, marketing conversations about what's working to grow your club, raise more money, and get more attention for Rotary. So I hope you join it. So the first thing we need to do is shore up comms. The second thing we need to do is get clear on our goals. We often see this even between governors who are doing a changeover, presidents who are doing a changeover, and they don't even agree on primary thrusts for the club. So is it any wonder that sometimes clubs and districts and even zones are confused about what's next? You know, a lot of incoming presidents are worried about ruining your club. Don't worry, you can't ruin your club in 1 year. The bigger concern is having 3 bad presidents in a row, 3 low-performing leaders in a row. That can ruin a club. That can ruin a district. So we need to take care that we have good leadership succession, that we're not just identifying future governors, but cultivating future governors, cultivating future presidents. I think that's really important. If you just tap people on the shoulder on May 20th and say, guess what, it's your turn, things aren't going to go well. So when I say get clear on goals, I'm talking about numbers. I love numbers because numbers cannot be misinterpreted. So if you're going to grow your club plus 10 this year, the number 10 cannot be disputed. If you just say, we're going to grow the club, nobody knows what that means. We hear this a lot. Thank you for the thumbs up, everybody. If you agree, you can do me a thumbs up. If you disagree, you can do the thumbs down. Let's give each other some fast feedback loops, even right now. And if you have questions about how to do any of this stuff, just type it into chat. I'll be finished in a few minutes. When we're clear on goals, when we're using numbers, for example, we're going to raise $30,000 for polio this year, or $10,000 for polio. The number 10,000 cannot be disputed. It's very clear. My least favorite example of this is when people say, well, we want to have more fun this year. I don't know how to measure fun. And it turns out what's fun for a 70-year-old may not be fun for a 40-year-old. Excuse me, everyone. And so we can't measure fun, but we can measure deadlines, membership, dollars in the bank. A lot of times we try to measure members. We should be trying to measure visitors because you have to visit Rotary 3 times to join. We're not measuring how many people visit 1 time, how many people visit 2 times, right? That would be an interesting thing to keep track of because if you can't get them there 3 times, you're never going to get a member. The Troy Rotary Club of Michigan buys your lunch for you, not the first time you visit, but the second time you visit. First time it's on your own, you got some skin in the game. Second time that you come, we buy your lunch. We just figure you're taking another bite of the fish bait, right? And if we can get you back that 3rd time, you've got a membership application for sure, and we're looking forward to you joining the club. So numbers are really important. How about attendance on your Zoom calls? That's a number. Right now we have 155 people on this call. If you scroll down to and move your cursor to the bottom part of the screen, you can see 155. My goal is to make sure that number is not any lower at the end of my talk, because that's a measurement of how good my talk was. If people are leaving the call in droves, I need to do a better presentation. So why not try to double your Zoom attendance with a really good speaker in the next couple of weeks? I think that's a good goal and it can be measured by numbers. Number 3 of the 4 things that Rotary needs to do next. I think we need to focus on something called outward-facing programming. I'm hearing this phrase from RI quite a bit these days. Here's a quick example of this. I belong to the Rotary Club of Troy, Michigan. Not unlike a lot of Rotary clubs, we're an aging club. We don't have a lot of business professionals in the club. And I used the F word to describe my club a while back. I referred to my club as folksy. I didn't mean anything by it. I thought it was a fact, another F word. We're a folksy club. You know, the president of the club called me that night and he was angry with me. He said, "How dare you refer to us as folksy? We're professionals. We're in high gear. We're in the prime of our life." And I said to him, you know, I don't agree. I think we're a retirement club. The average age of our club is up around 65, 66 years old. If you want to be a professional club, we can get there, but the first step is properly identifying the problem. Psychologists call this the naked look in the mirror. Most of us don't have the courage to do this. If you take off all of your clothes and stand in a full-length mirror for 2 minutes and just have a look. Most people don't have the courage to do this. And if you do have the courage, your eyes go to the things you don't like first. Of course, the secret to this is looking at all the things that you do like. By the way, the most attractive part of all of our bodies is the inside. And the mirror doesn't show that, does it? So we get distracted. We start focusing on, what's that hanging there? Not supposed to be there, you know? So we need to focus on the positive, but be very clear about what we want to improve. And outward-facing programming is one of those things that we can have a look at. A folksy club, for example, that wants to patronize the members of the club won't book 30-something and 40-something speakers. They're not our cup of tea. We tend to book speakers that talk about things that senior citizens would be interested in hearing about, retirees. But if we really, truly wanted to attract 30-somethings and 40-somethings into our club, we would get 30-something and 40-something speakers to talk about 30-something and 40-something topics so that we would get 30-something and 40-something visitors. Does that make sense to you? Thumbs up if it agrees to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. But this is how marketing works. Marketing is the illusion, creating the illusion of something that has yet to happen. And it takes a little bit of forward thinking to do that. Outward facing programming. So, quick review, we need to shore up communications. We need to get really clear on our goals, and goals are numbers. Number 3, we need to do outward facing programming for the people who aren't even in our club yet. And number 4, we need to improve the club experience. You've probably heard that Rotary does a great job, and let's say a pretty good job, of pulling people into our sales funnel. You know what a sales funnel looks like, a regular funnel. The idea is because Rotary is such a good value proposition that people would enter that sales funnel and they would come out the bottom as members. They would enter as visitors, they would come out the bottom as members. And a lot of them do. But we also know that people tend to leave the club 12 to 18 months after they join. Now, if the value proposition is solid and we're delivering on the value proposition, why do so many people leave? And I think it's because we fool ourselves about the value proposition. We don't actually deliver exactly what we're capable of delivering in the club experience. We do things too slow sometimes. We do things inefficiently sometimes. Thank you, Sandhya. I attended a 50-50 drawing the other day. It took 6 minutes to do it. 6 minutes to pull a card out of a deck because the Rotarians are getting distracted. All the corporate people, you know, if you got any attorneys in your club, accountants, they bill by 6-minute increments, and they're looking at their watch like, seriously, it's going to take that long to do this? So by running your events like TV shows, and Zoom has been a great help in this because we start to think of it as a TV show with no dead air, ladies and gentlemen. And when we go back to physical meetings, if we can carry some of these best practices in Zoom where we don't have any dead air and we make really efficient use of people's time, we're in and out of those physical meetings in 60 minutes, not 75 minutes, not 90 minutes, so that business people can actually join the club and get out and get back to work. I think that's going to be a key to attracting what we call the yo pros. Anybody? Young professionals. So there you go. An improved club experience. By the way, many of you are speaking on behalf of Rotary, and if you are, I have a free Facebook group. It's called Present Like a Pro, because if our Rotary speakers were actually better at what they did, they would be more efficient with their calls to action, and they would draw bigger crowds, and they would be a magnet for new members coming into Rotary. So the Facebook group is called Present Like a Pro. The first Facebook group I mentioned to you is called Get the Word Out Now. Both of the groups are free. And it's my pleasure to be an admin in both of these groups as we set up success in 2020 and 21. It is true I'm going to be involved with public image for Zone 28. That means all of you next year. If you have a public image chair in your club, if you have a public image chair for the district, you should have them connect with me right away on all social media platforms, certainly in the Get the Word Out Now group on Facebook, so that we can have synergy. We can all be rowing together at the same time, and we can get this boat moving. I want to thank all of you for all you do for the greatest service organization in the world. And I want to especially thank Mike Lawrie for connecting me to your great people and inviting me today. Mike, you're going to be a fantastic district governor. I remember watching how you worked at the Twin Pets, and you're an impressive person. You're going to be good for the district. And I'm just so optimistic about things that are coming our way in Rotary. Thank you very much, everybody. I'd be happy to answer any questions if somebody wants to help me with that. And I'll stay on and answer questions in chat after we finish.
Well, thank you, Michael. And we believe in you too. Now, we have no bots. I've seen a few pigeons, but not Lily.
Good.
But my wife keeps saying I'm starting to look folksy. So I'm going to take off my clothes.
Oh, not now. No, not now.
Oh, well, all right. Just my jacket then.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to hear somebody was listening.
There, back in the business. So thanks again, Mike. What did I do? I just touched something, so bear with me. Oh.
Thank you for all the great comments, everybody. I appreciate the great feedback.
Okay, we're back. A little bit lighter, a little bit cooler. So it's now time to welcome District Governor Lesley to recognize a few exceptional Rotarians for their commitment to going above and beyond for the benefit of our District 7080. There are 3 clubs that generously donated their Paul Harris points so we could recognize these individuals. Those 3 clubs are the Rotary Club of Kitchener-Conestoga, the Rotary Club of Guelph Trillium, the Rotary Club of Brampton. Thank you to all those clubs and for all you do. Now, Lesley, it's over to you.
Thank you, John. And I'm going to share my screen now. Mike, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see it, please? Perfect. Okay. So again, a sincere thanks to the Rotary Clubs of Kitchener-Conestoga, Guelph Trillium, and Brampton for their generous contributions of Paul Harris points that allow us to recognize a few exceptional Rotarians. Our thanks also go to Clarence Havison for looking after all things regarding recognition and awards for this event. This year, I'm sincerely grateful to so many and incredibly proud to be on your team. There have been many who have contributed so much this year and have risen to the challenges we have faced. Kudos to you all. The Governor team and I sincerely thank you. This evening, we would like to recognize some of our members with special awards. Individuals who have gone that extra mile and have contributed above and beyond to support our district, clubs, and members. These members not only demonstrated that they are people of action, but also flamingos who can pivot quickly to look at better paths. They have demonstrated a true understanding of how to strengthen and grow our Rotary brand. Can we remind you, please, to hold your applause until mentioned. We will present 4 Paul Harris recognitions first, and then 2 special awards. This person has been a Rotarian for more than 30 years. They've served our district in various capacities over that time and always bring a strategic and innovative approach to all things Rotary. A true flamingo, this person is not afraid of change, always looking for better ways with a focus on where we need to be as we move forward, often into uncharted territory. This person is a strong advocate for clubs working together in clusters. She started up our District Community Service Directorate in 2018. She speaks about social innovation, high impact partnerships, and task forces to discuss pressing community issues. She has created community service web pages on our district website that contain important information for all our members. She was instrumental in starting the new Passport Club South and in fact took on the role as charter president in the first year. She's always willing and available to help whenever asked. Norma, you've been an inspiration to me, a sounding board, a co-conspirator for change by helping me take deeper dives into new ideas, possibilities, and associated risks, and never giving me the "you want to do what?" or "where is your head?" look. I sincerely thank you for all that you have done and continue to do. Ryan, can I please ask you now to pin your mum? And there he is. Ryan, thank you so much. Obviously, Norma did not know that Ryan was around the corner, and I'm glad it was a surprise. Norma is now a Paul Harris Fellow +4. Please join me in congratulating our Community Service Director, Norma Gamble.
Thank you, thank you.
Our second Paul Harris recipient is someone who has taken the idea of Together We Succeed to a totally new level. He believes that if you don't have a good process, you can't solve the problem. Quickly recognizing that we could strengthen and grow our Rotary brand by working together as a cluster, he encouraged the clubs in his cluster to create a process through which they could raise funds to support their community in innovative ways. Previously, there had been times when clubs had not even considered working together and sharing ideas. He is a key person behind the Rotary online auction. He offers technical support to the Oakville clubs. He is the go-to person for the Oakville Family Ribfest. I have found that he is always one of the first to respond to my requests for information. This evening, we'd like to recognize Bent Fink Jensen for his tireless work and showing us that together we succeed. Pat, can I please ask you to pin Bent? Bent is now a Paul Harris Fellow +3. Please join me in congratulating Assistant Governor Bent Fink Jensen. Our third Paul Harris recipient is someone with whom at some point you've probably connected. This individual not only took on a role to support our district, clubs and members, but was also a member of the committee that started up the Rotary Passport Club South. This year, she was co-president of the Mississauga Rotaract Club and is also president-elect of Rotary Passport South. So she is both a Rotaractor and a Rotarian. She also served as District 7080 co-district Rotaract representative, together with Brampton Rotaract President Parry Gujar. In addition, both DRRs assisted with the monthly publication of 7080 Connects, our district newsletter. No small feat. She helps with our district Facebook page, supports the PR committee, and actively supports district meetings. Last year, she worked on getting the international project site up and running. She works full-time, and if this isn't challenging enough, she is always willing to take on additional tasks. Nothing is too much trouble. When I think of her, I am reminded of the passion and the energy she has for Rotary. She is a role model for Rotaractors and Rotarians alike. Yogi, could I please ask you to pin your daughter, Janani? This is your daughter's first Paul Harris pin. Please join me in congratulating Janani on becoming a Paul Harris Fellow. Thank you, Yogi. And sorry, I forgot to click the button. There's Janani. So our fourth Paul Harris recipient is someone you may not know. He has been a Rotarian since 2008 and has worked quietly and tirelessly with his wife to strengthen and grow Early Act and Interact clubs in Malton schools. During that time, this husband and wife team have had incredible success with several schools and have had a positive impact on the lives of many children. Even during the school strike earlier this year, and regardless of the challenging COVID-19 pandemic, they continue to stay connected with the principals and the teachers to ensure that these student clubs do not go dark. They truly understand that these children are our future, not just Rotaries, but the world's. They are loved by the children, teachers, and principals alike. They were both recipients of the Queen's Jubilee Medal in 2012 and of many other awards, including Peel Region's United Way, Unity and Diversity Award, and other volunteer community service awards. Unfortunately, right now, both are not in good health, yet they do not let that stop them. They are truly dedicated Rotarians. Last year, I visited Ridgewood School, and it was an amazing experience to hear these young children recite Rotary's four-way test, and then line up to introduce themselves and shake hands with me. While we recognize both Clem and Helen Burrows for their amazing work with their community's children, we are presenting a Paul Harris Fellow pin to Clem for his unending support of Helen and the children in their community. This is Clem's first Paul Harris Fellow pin. Clem, I will personally deliver your pin and certificate to you soon. I'm just wondering, Helen, did you manage to join this evening? Can you unmute yourself and say something if you did join? Okay, I did get an email from Helen today saying that Clem really had not been well at all, and so maybe she wasn't able to join. But I ask you to join me in congratulating both of them on incredible work with their communities, their children in their community. So thank you. Now let's move on to our two special awards. The pandemic really caught many of us off guard, concerned that our clubs might go dark. My first thought was to reach out to our webmaster, Darren Sweeney, for advice regarding online technology. Darren moved quickly to arrange reduced rate access to a District 7080 Zoom license for each of our 10 clusters, and then continued to develop ways to make it easier for presidents to book meetings without overloading the assistant governors. He also recommended and implemented a simple long-term process that will enable incoming club presidents to simply take over the Zoom license without a lot of extra administrative work. He obtained Google Suite for our district to simplify our district documenting process and storage. Then, because we had to cancel our in-person club leadership training, he helped move it online via a series of Zoom meetings to ensure clubs and their boards had access to the learning. There are a myriad of other tasks that Darren completed this year that is helping to move our district forward. Please join me in congratulating our webmaster, Darren Sweeney, for his outstanding support to our district, clubs and members this year and in previous years, Darren. We'll get you the certificate soon, and a special thank you for all that you have done to help us move forward this year.
Thank you, Lesley, and thank you all. It was my pleasure.
And we've come to the final certificate. I've been told that once you complete your governor journey, you're done. Apparently not so. Our next award goes to a past district governor who is proving that you're definitely never done. This year, the pandemic has drained many funds from clubs, district, and the Rotary Foundation. I have seen more changes to types of available grants than I have ever seen before, and many of these changes have required us to pivot quickly in order to be effective and responsive to community needs. I've come to understand that we can be creative in the way we view grant funding by ensuring we wisely use our district dedicated funds and ensure we take advantage of our financial options. I've learned that I'm not the only person who has many plates spinning in the air. This year, our foundation director, Norm Binden, not only led the foundation team to meet ever-changing deadlines and criteria, but has amended the foundation policy, which, by the way, will probably need to be retweaked shortly. Sorry, Norm. Led the revisions to our manual of policies, procedures, and practices to update language and ensure compliance with the council change on legislation changes, and moved our foundation qualification training online. By the way, he's also taken on the role of Council on Legislation representative for the next 3 years and will continue for another year as Foundation Director. So please join me in congratulating past District Governor Norm Binden. Norm, I will personally deliver your certificate to you. A sincere thank you to you all. And I'm going to stop. Can we all do the congratulations, please? There we go.
Thank you, Lesley, to Norma, Bent, Jenny, Clem, Darren, and Norm. Congratulations, and very well deserved. Thank you for all you do. Great to have you in the district. So when we were planning this cocktail changeover, we were looking at different ideas. It's certainly been a tough time for many, yet we've worked together and helped each other. Past District Governor Doug Vincent posted a wonderful video on Facebook, which we'd like to share.
Dum 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 dum.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through.
Close to the ones here today, close to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the dreams bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you.
There's a time that I remember when I did not know no pain,
when I believed in forever and everything would stay the same.
Now my heart feel like December when somebody say your name,
'Cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day, yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday, yeah. But everything will be alright. Go raise your voice and say, hey.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Close to the ones here today. Close to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back you. Memories bring back you. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so lost. When I felt that all the hatred was too powerful to stop. Now my heart feels like an ember, and it's lighting up the dark. I'll carry these torches for you, but you know I'll never drop. Yeah.
Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday, hey, hey. But everything will be alright. Go and raise your voice and say, hey.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Cause the dreams back all the memories of everything we've been through. Close to the ones here today. Close to the ones that we lost on the way. Cause the dreams bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back
Wow, I have memories too of being so young. Well, it's a good segue in time to hear from our district governor about her year in reflection and maybe a bit about her memories. Lesley?
There we go. Can you hear me? Yes, I'm going to share my screen again. Janani, can you put your thumbs up if you see the screen, please? The PowerPoint, great, perfect. So thank you, John. I came across this quote recently from author Paul Coelho. When we least expect it, life sets us a challenge to test our courage and willingness to change. At such a moment, there is no point in pretending that nothing has happened or in saying that we're not yet ready. The challenge will not wait. Life does not look back. A week is more than enough time for us to decide whether or not to accept our destiny. When I read this, my thoughts flew back to last March, to the time when we quickly organized the cluster Zoom accounts and hoped that clubs would pivot quickly and use the online platform as a way to connect with their members during the turmoil. 1 week was definitely more than enough time. 44 of our 48 clubs proactively and quickly grabbed hold of the idea and arranged regular online meetings. Rotarians are truly people of action. Going dark was not an option for us. For some, this change has not been easy. Many, including myself, have had to increase our comfort level with using Zoom and other online technology. Social isolation has separated us from our families and our friends. Our hearts go out to all those who have suffered and lost loved ones during this pandemic. Yet I am a strong believer that we must look for the silver lining in every cloud. This year's theme, Rotary Connects the World, turned out to be more meaningful than anyone could have imagined. We now have speakers and guests from across Canada and around the world at our meetings. Many clubs have reported a higher attendance at club and committee meetings, and former members and alumni are reconnecting with their friends. I reflect on that one flamingo walking the other way, and I bet there's many smiles on people's faces with this one. The idea that in order to prosper and grow, we need to think and do things differently. Here's a reminder of what past Rotary International President Barry Rassin said. That flamingo knows everyone's going one way. She sees it, but she also sees that maybe the path they're on isn't the best path. Maybe, just maybe, there's a better path over there, and she wants to get a good look before she goes marching on with her friends. And if, when she does stop and look, that new path does seem better, she'll call the rest of the crew to come over and check it out with her. And maybe, just maybe, they'll all choose that better path together. Change is hard, and the longer we've been going one way, the more friends we have with us, the harder it is to be the one who turns around and does it differently. But change, not change for its own sake, but careful, considered, goal-directed change is essential for any organization who wants to evolve, stay relevant, and move forward in the right direction. Our members have understood that we all have the capacity to look for better ways, to change the status quo, albeit uncomfortable for some. In the words of author Roy T. Bennett, you never change your life until you step out of your comfort zone. Change begins at the end of your comfort zone. So kudos to everyone who pivoted quickly to find a way to stay connected with each other and their communities, and to those who decided to join them. What we witnessed next was truly amazing. Many clubs proactively and quickly kicked into action by sponsoring and responding to community needs both here and in other countries. They rolled up their sleeves and started supporting food banks, children's food programs, PPE for hospital workers, making face protectors with 3D printers, supporting and thanking our online workers with baked cookies, red ribbons, and thank you signs. Our members engaged with their communities. We saw innovative ideas spring to life. We witnessed clubs pooling their resources and working together to provide more impactful help. Rising above the challenges we faced, together we gave back. Through adversity, we gained strength, connected by our joint purpose to make a difference and do good in the world. COVID-19 forced us to be flexible, to find opportunities to strengthen and grow, to innovate, and to learn from our experiences. It pushed us further and faster. That tiny but powerful virus has certainly been a catalyst for change. Our number one priority this year was to grow Rotary, not only increase membership numbers, but to strengthen and grow the Rotary brand. That meant engaging our members in a way that was meaningful to them, strengthening our programs and working together. It meant including our Rotary family, Rotaractors, Interactors, and Early Actors, our family members and alumni in our events and meetings. It meant continuity in leadership and looking for ways to make leadership roles more doable at the club and district levels. So what changes were implemented this year? We held 10 cluster celebrations in lieu of the individual governor club visits in a hope that we would break down silos and reinforce the idea that together we succeed. Foundation qualification training was online instead of asking members to give up a Saturday to attend the mandatory training program in person. Due to the pandemic, our club leadership training was also online. Mini membership summits were created. To date, 15 clubs have received the presentation, which is a reminder to connect with Brian Bennett to book your session early this coming year. We reduced the number of council meetings and implemented a short update reporting process that allowed us to use our time more effectively to focus on important items and approvals that would move us forward. And our thanks to Janani and Darren for helping with that. We also reduced the number of presidents' meetings from 4 to 3 each year. These were organized by cluster clubs, presidents' meetings, for presidents, by presidents. Our thanks to the Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge, and Oakville clusters for organizing and running the 3 meetings this year. We combined several events like our district conference changeover and awards. As you know, the district conference date was changed from May the 30th to October the 3rd due to the pandemic. We hope to let everyone know by the end of this month if we can go ahead with October the 3rd date for a joint in-person conference. We have updated our governance documents, the Manual of Policies, Procedures and Practices, our privacy policy, our youth and vulnerable persons policy, and our foundation policy to ensure accuracy, consistency and alignment with the 2019 Council on Legislation changes. In February, we started up District 7080's Young Professional Advisory Task Force, a group of younger Rotarians and Rotaractors who are sharing their thoughts about how we can attract a younger demographic to Rotary. We have implemented a process to provide coaching support specifically for clubs that are struggling. And we worked with Rotaract clubs to prepare them for their July 1st transition from a Rotary program to becoming equal partners with our Rotary clubs. Moving forward, I encourage you all to work together with our younger Rotary family members. They are our future, the ones to whom we will pass the Rotary baton. Shortly before his death in 1947, our founder, Paul Harris, said, "I would like to think that the pioneering days of Rotary have only just begun. There are just as many new things to be done as ever there were. Kaleidoscopic changes are taking place, many of them without our will. Even to hang on to the fringe of this fast changing world is about all most of us can do. Rotary simply must continue to pioneer or be left in the rear of progress." Hard to believe that Paul Harris said this in 1947. It is as appropriate today as it was in the post-war World War II era, and a clear message from the founder of Rotary that we must embrace change if we hope to move forward. I simply couldn't end this year without saying a sincere thank you to so many of you for your constant support and encouragement, without which my role would have been many times more challenging. There are so many people, and my apologies if I miss anyone. Please know that I am truly grateful for your support. Jennifer Nago, Betty Jo Parent, the entire District Conference Committee, and Rotaractors Leah and Alicia for their unending support and for organizing a unique district conference. Thanks also to Ryan and Norma Gamble, who made the video. The Governor team for all your friendship, advice, support, and for putting up with me. Our council members for your advice and leadership, and for trying a different process that allowed us to focus on items that needed to be discussed and approved. Our committee chairs and their committee members for their hard work. The past district governors who were sounding boards and offered advice. to our registrar, Bill Proctor, for making sure our program registrations ran smoothly, to my club, Rotary Meadowvale, for all your support, to Janani and Parry for your tireless help with the 7080 Connects monthly newsletter, Leanna Tew for your work on the wonderful in memorial video we showed earlier, Sandia and Darren for all your work to make tonight's event a reality, all the friends and fellow Rotarians who gave encouragement and support and did their part to help their clubs and members work together. Thank you to all those friends who so thoughtfully gave me flamingo gifts. They stand proudly as a reminder to constantly look for better paths. To my family, children, and extended family who haven't seen as much of me over these past couple of years, a huge thank you. And last but certainly not least, to my husband Aziz and all the other families, spouses, and partners who selflessly provide their support, allowing us to do what we do. Anyone who takes on a volunteer role will understand that without this support, the role would be so much more challenging. This is a joint journey and a joint commitment. Aziz is not only my husband, but also my best friend, who has been my confidant, my sounding board, my encourager, my companion, and one who listens to my speeches before anyone else, except for this one. I haven't read this to him. And my helper, who has demonstrated patience throughout this journey. Remember this photo? Aziz made that picket fence. Yes, he bought the wood and the hardware, cut the slats, put it all together and painted it just for this photo. And sometimes it's not what spouses do, it's what they don't do. Aziz never puts pressure on me to hurry up or ask, when are you going to finish your Rotary work? His requests are always preempted by when you have a minute or when you have time. So Aziz, thank you. Thank you for being by my side on this journey. I know there have been times when I've really tested your patience, but I couldn't have done it without you. And in recognition of your constant support, I am sharing my Paul Harris points and would like to recognize you with your first Paul Harris Fellow pin. Please join me, everyone, in thanking and congratulating Aziz. And I'm just going to pin him now. You notice I couldn't look at him when I was saying that because I'd have been in tears, so I couldn't do that. There we go. Well done, my son. So where to? Oh, sorry, to all Rotarians, Rotaractors, and friends who quietly serve, know that you are building a stronger future for our world and for our children. So where to from here? In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. As Rotary opens opportunities, I know we'll all continue to strengthen and grow our Rotary family under the leadership of my friend and fellow Rotarian District Governor Mike Lawrie. My friends, this has been an awesome journey and one that I am honored to have shared with you. Thank you all, and all the very best for a fantastic 2020-21 Rotary year. Thank you.
Thank you, Lesley. If you could see everybody now, I'm sure there's a standing ovation. You have truly been a true leader amongst adversity, a true flamingo of change. I know no one more passionate and dedicated in caring for Rotary. And to your partner, Aziz, thank you for being there and supporting Lesley during this year. I'm sure she kept you busy, but believe me, it's we're so fortunate to have the both of you as governor and partners in leading us through what were truly challenging times. So thank you for that. Your duties, however, Lesley, do not end. You are entering the realm of immediate past district governor. And so you will continue on the governing team, and certainly valued in your role at supporting everybody that's about to get charged tonight. So it's now my pleasure to officially commence the changeover. First to Lesley. On my behalf, I would like to ask Aziz to present the immediate past district governor pin. Thank you, Lesley, for your year of service, and welcome to the past district governor team. Please thank and applause all the good works of both Lesley and Aziz during this past year. Next, the induction ceremony of the 2021 governor team. I'd like to first start with the induction of Dr. Mike Lawrie as our district governor. Now, Mike has been a Rotarian since 1987. He belongs to the Rotary Club of Cambridge Sunrise and is a three-time club president. Dr. Mike's career as a family physician covered 40 years in Cambridge. Louise, his love and soulmate, for 48 years. And collectively, they have have three great children, Jamie, Jillian, and Cameron, and 7 grandchildren. Mike loves his scotch, so whenever he's visiting, don't hesitate to offer a dram. And so it's now my time to officially induct Mike as our incoming district governor. So Mike, thank you for accepting the invitation and responsibility to serve as district governor. You have been selected because we believe that you possess the skills to inspire, motivate, and lead District 7080 through the next Rotary year. Leadership places upon you many obligations, and we believe that you will embrace such responsibilities as an opportunity for service. You are expected to encourage Rotarians, strengthen clubs, promote a positive and public image, and serve as a spokesperson for the district. You are also expected to work with and inspire the governor-elect and all the other district leaders. On behalf of the soon-to-be immediate past district governor, Lesley, we ask Louise to place our emblem, the Governor Rotary Wheel, on you as you take your role as district governor. Accept this pin as a symbol of both obligation and opportunity. Fellow Rotarians and guests, please join in welcoming and congratulating our new district governor, Dr. Mike Lawrie. Next to Rudy. Rudy Habesh, District Governor-elect. So Rudy joined Rotary in 1994 in Amman, Jordan. He has been the Rotary Club Oakville president in 2013-2014. Rudy has also been assistant governor for Oakville. Rudy started and was the first chair of the Gift of Life in Amman in cooperation with the Gift of Life International, and provided over 500 life-saving heart surgeries to children with congenital heart defects in the Middle East. Professionally, Rudy He's a real estate broker and also works in settlement services for newcomers and refugees in Canada. He's married to Rotarian Lena Sakab of Passport South and has 3 children. Thank you, Rudy, for accepting the invitation and responsibility to serve as District Governor-elect for the coming year. You have been selected because you have shown the qualities of head and heart that are the foundation of Rotary clubs around the world. Rudy, while this is a training year for you, you are expected to support your district governor, assist in all matters of district business, and prepare for your role as district governor in 2021-2022. Fellow Rotarians, please welcome Rudy to your clubs and your community and assist him in expanding his knowledge of our district. On behalf of the soon-to-be District Governor Mike, Lena will take our emblem, Rotary wheel, and pin it on you, the District Governor-elect pin. What does the symbol mean? In the words of past RI President Robert Barth of Switzerland, you can rely on me. I am dependable. I'm available. I give more than I take, and I add value. Lena, please pin District Governor-elect Rudy Abesh. Congratulations, Rudy. Fellow Rotarians and guests, please join in welcoming and congratulating our new District Governor-elect, Rudy Abesh. Last, and certainly not the quietest, Sandhya Maini as District Governor nominee. Sandhya is a proud member of Rotary Burlington North and has been Rotarian since 2009. She served as a club's president in 2016-17 and is currently Director of Training for District 7080. Rotary runs in Sandhya's family. Her late grandfather was a member in Africa, and her father was a charter member of Burlington North 25 years ago. Her mother also gets in on the service spirit by donating her time and cooking expertise for fundraisers. Professionally, Sandhya works for Sun Life in Human Resources, where she's responsible for planning and delivering the company's global human resources technology initiatives. She surely helped us in preparing for this evening, so thank you for that. Thank you also, Sandhya, for accepting the invitation and responsibility to serve as District Governor nominee. You have been selected because you have shown the qualities of head and heart that are the foundation of Rotary clubs around the world. You're expected to support your governor team, assist in all matters of district business, and plan and prepare for your year as District Governor 2022-23. Sandhya, this is a learning year for you. Embrace the challenge, learn more about our clubs, and engage with members across the district during your year as District Governor nominee. On behalf of District Governor-elect Rudy, your father and fellow Rotarian Vipin will place our emblem, the Rotary wheel, on you in the form of a District Governor nominee pin. Wear it proudly as a symbol of confidence that the district and the Rotarians place in you. Fellow Rotarians and guests, please welcome and congratulate Sandhya as your new District Governor nominee. Please offer her assistance during her year of Rotary leadership and training. Fellow Rotarians, it's my pleasure to present your governor team for 2020-2021. Due to social distancing requirements, the governor team came together to exchange the governor banner. Please join us for the banner exchange between Leslie's club with President Mario Caruso, Rotary Club of Meadowvale, the Mike's Club with President-elect Jennifer Clark of Rotary Cambridge Sunrise. A special thank you to Leslie's son, Fessel, for his help in creating this video. Darren? Thank you, Fessel. Fantastic. It's great to see the banner exchange. Jennifer, please display the banner with pride as at all your meetings this year and keep it safe for the next Rotary year. Please join me in congratulating both clubs, Rotary Club of Mississauga Meadowvale and the Rotary Club of Cambridge Sunrise. It is now my great pleasure that I ask District Governor Mike to make a special presentation to soon-to-be past District Governor Lesley.
I just want to show everyone, let it come back. Here we got it. That's the special presentation, right, Mike?
That is the special presentation. You have well, it looks like it hasn't been opened or peeked into yet.
So I will open it. If we want to carry on with the program, I will open it and I will hold up in front of the camera, whatever it is. We're just opening it now. Beautiful. Please go ahead if you want to. I don't want to hold everyone up.
We're all waiting to see what it is, Lesley.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Thank you. Lovely. It is a beautiful salad bowl. How gorgeous is that? And beautiful. Thank you.
This is handcrafted by Hilborn Pottery in Cambridge, one of our outstanding artisans that have been in business for many, many years.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And I promise to eat more salad. Okay. Thank you. It's amazing. So, and it's been an absolute gift to be able to work with you all. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lesley. Now, for his first official duty as District Governor, please welcome my friend and District Governor Mike for his inaugural address.
Okay, well, thank you very much, John. And I'd like to thank the committee that organized this event for tonight. Often you can go to a template from last year's and just repeat, but this is all new and all different because of the uniqueness of our evening tonight. My first comments have to be a tribute and saluting District Governor Lesley for her skills in navigating through the year. She embraced a theme at the beginning and followed through constantly with that. Lesley wears a little Rotary shoe on her lapel. It's a kind of a high heel shoe, and it's got a Rotary symbol. And I have to say, sort of, there's a metaphor here that although she carries that shoe, her shoes are going to be very tough ones to fill. Her grace and poise will be long remembered, as will her articulate and gentle manner of progressing her ideas. One of the things that I remember most about Lesley is her sign off, whether it be at a meeting or a conference or on the phone. She will usually say, "Is there anything else you need from me or that I am leaving out?" And Lesley is usually very thorough because there's very little left out. Lesley lives the motto of the 7 habits of Stephen Covey, and in particular, I think number 6, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Lesley, your skills at narrating, at running a meeting, at dealing with conflict, and at being able to adapt on the go, I think have served you very well. Your career, maybe earlier on, wasn't necessarily destined to make you a Rotarian leader, but you developed those skills, and we're so thankful that you did. Taking over the position of district governor is one that I initially would have scorned if you'd asked me 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I always admired the district governors. They were terrific leaders and speakers, and could carry a yearly theme quite well. Many of whom, I won't name them all, but many are in attendance tonight. And the district governor would come to the club and would have an official visit, and we would get all hyped up and ready to go for an exciting year ahead. Now I'm just doing a little technology here and hoping that this will work for us. And we are ready to go. So planning for next year is in progress.
You better ask them if they can see the screen.
Are you seeing the screen that says Rotary planning for next year?
You can, Mike. Yeah, if you want to throw it into slideshow mode, it'll just make it a little bit bigger, but we can see it.
I'm not, okay, there we go. Thank you. Got it. There we go. Thank you, Sandia. I just needed one step. So planning for next year. Tonight is a special night, and we have heard and celebrated some great accomplishments from district. We have honored and awarded some people that have gone above and beyond. And I was starting out by saying that my journey to become district governor wasn't something that I had in my must-do journal. But in 2017, I was in my transition year between my profession as a family doctor and becoming a person of leisure, drawing no fixed income and looking for something meaningful to do. And Rotary seemed like it might be one of the things that I could wear that hat proudly. So in September of 2017, the ad went out. Appointment needed, looking for a district governor for District 7080. And it was a member of my club that said, "Hey, Mike, you should apply for that." And so with that gentle nudge, an opportunity was presented to me, and I started to explore, and first of all, had to get the approval of my club and the support of my club. In December, there was a very rigorous job interview like none I had ever had before. And those of you that have done the governor journey know what that is like. At any rate, it was with the encouragement and support of my club that I started this journey. And I am so proud and comfortable with my fellow Rotarians in the Rotary Club of Cambridge Sunrise and their support for me as this journey had begun. Now, you have heard that every year there is a theme, and we have been connected. Rotary connects the world. There was a little blue globe with 4 people surrounding it, embracing it, and as the year unfolded, perhaps holding it up and giving it some support that we didn't foresee when the year began. So Rotary connected the world, and Lesley certainly has explained that very well. The theme for this year, 2021, is Rotary opens opportunities, and we see 3 doors that are open. There are 3 different colors, and some of you have heard these explanations, but the blue and gold are traditional solid Rotary colors. The fuchsia door represents, to me, Rotaractors, our strong partners that have moved from a program to partnership status with Rotary. The doors are open, and what lies beyond is what is going to be those opportunities that do await us. Now, Rotary had come up with a vision statement. It was called a new vision statement, but it's 2 or 3 years old, but I think it is very relevant whenever we look at what we might accomplish. And it talks about being together, about taking action, and about making lasting change in the world through the things that we do in our communities and in ourselves. The international president is Holger Kanak from Germany. His home club has 3 long names, Herzogtum Lauenburg Mölln. Now, Holger and his wife Suzanne were on the cover of the Rotarian this month, an amazing article about him. And certainly a little curious question would be, if you were visiting them, how would you feel if they served you a little pastry and a sausage? Well, you would feel that they were living their career and their life and sharing something that they love very much. So let's talk a bit about opportunity and those opportunities that are open for us. And an opportunity could be defined as a favorable combination of circumstances. The person that takes advantage of that could be an opportunist. Opportunity is something that is out there in front of us, sometimes without us realizing it. Opportunities exist everywhere we look. Opportunities exist in the material that we learn and in sometimes the wisdom that we share. A story that I commonly tell has to do with one of my medical interests in supporting elite athletes. And I took care of our junior hockey team for 30 years as a team physician, and also supported elite figure skaters. And it was the figure skaters that really gave me something more memorable. When one of them, a pair of them, was going off to a competition, and I said, good luck. And they said, we don't really believe in luck. What some people call luck, we think is the combination of opportunity and preparation and being prepared. So when those 2 things come together at that sweet spot, good things can happen. If you have the preparation but not the opportunity, won't happen. If you have the opportunity but you're not prepared, well, you're certainly going to fail the exam. So this is my little slide about the world according to Venn, the Venn diagram that shows that sweet spot. I won't have a lot of long, wordy quotes. I wanted to be a little quicker, and knowing that we will be getting on, hopefully, to doing some celebration. But a wonderful leader, having a quote, having a plan when a difficulty presents itself is Sir Winston. And you can read that his definition of a pessimist, it's one that sees difficulty in every opportunity, whereas an optimist is the one that sees opportunity in every difficulty. So opportunities can arise at any time. And just think of some of the opportunities that had presented in your life. As Rotarians, someone gave you the opportunity to attend a meeting. Someone gave you the opportunity to consider joining. Someone gave you the opportunity to take special Rotary training. Someone gave you the opportunity to become a leader. Someone gave you the opportunity to see the need in your community and to bring people together to meet that need. So just as those people had presented opportunities to you, as Rotarians, we like to share those opportunities, and we like to go to people and say something like, Sandhya, I have noticed that you seem to have a gift and an interest in bringing people together and accomplishing projects. I think that Rotary might serve you well, and you would be a terrific leader. Rudy, someone I hope said that to you a few years ago. You know, I have another quote, and it's kind of a Yogi Berra quote, but he says, you can observe a lot just by looking. All around us, there are those opportunities. We have to look through slightly different optics to see those opportunities. I think back to Michael Caruso's lovely talk, and he was talking about a fork in the road, and I'm just going to throw in another Yogi quote, and he said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Now, opportunities for fellowship, fundraising, service, or just plain fun are there for us every day. And I think that we need to always remember that last bit. Now, it can't be all about fun, but if we don't enjoy getting together and doing the things that we do, good things come to those who ask. So, a person, what do you call a person who asks you a question? Well, could be someone who is curious, could be an interrogator. A lawyer would say, well, it depends who's asking the question. People in sales know that it's more productive to ask a question than to give facts. So when you go into a store, rather than saying, hey, what do you want? That's in aisle 5, they would say, just what is it that we might do for you today? And that will open up some opportunities for you to explore what could happen. There are open and closed-ended questions, and the closed-ended question usually requires a simple yes/no answer. Like, am I seeing some sagging eyelids and some nodding heads, and it's time to move on? Questions can often be preceded by a short story or an introduction. So when I was just about to propose to Sandhya that she might think about leadership in Rotary, it's good to start with either a little story or an introduction. We're going the wrong way here, sorry. So Rotary is about relationships and opportunities. And I think often a picture has 1,000 words. And what is happening in this picture, it could be that an opportunity has been introduced. This might have been the guest speaker at a Rotary club, or this may be a project team that finally says, you know, I've sat across the table from you and heard some great ideas. I'd like to get to know you a little bit better and maybe tell you about Rotary. Our world changed on March 11th, and Rotary did respond, but I think we will forever remember this year, and some people will say BC and AC, before COVID and after COVID. Things have changed in how we treat society, how we treat each other, how we look at what's going to be best to keep us safe. There's the virus with the little knobbies on it, and people that are social distancing. I don't know what they're waiting for. It could be Donald Trump about to speak. There are unique challenges for our year, and those unique challenges will be how we keep ourselves safe, how we keep active. Clubs have been encouraged not to go dark. Clubs have been encouraged to look for new opportunities to serve, to fundraise, to socialize, to connect with the community. Through the leaders that we have in Rotary, we've had an opportunity to get familiar with a new technology, to understand that there are some silver linings to this. So those clubs might have found that they could bring in a speaker that would probably not be possible, that people that had trouble getting to meetings could now join that meeting and now could be part of it. So kudos to our district training team. Kudos to Darren and Sandia for helping us embrace this new reality, this philosophy of how we can stay communicating, stay involved, stay relating to each other. The impact on our clubs and on Rotarians are going to carry on. Our economy is in probably an official recession. Some of our Rotarian colleagues will see their employment shrink. Some of them will be laid off. Some of them will encounter economic hardships. Likewise, clubs that were relying on big projects that they had done many years over aren't able to do those things anymore. The simple attendance at bingo doesn't happen. So our budgets have to be looked at. Our service projects have to be looked at. And again, I say there are opportunities. Look where there might be a need in your community. It might be providing food to children that don't have good access to good nutrition. It might be looking at the problem of loneliness and isolation and reaching out to people. It might be trying to have a project that encourages people to enhance their mental health, to enhance their connection with each other. The response of our foundation and grants those responses have enabled us to look at different kinds of projects, that look at ones that we can no longer do, but how we can serve our community. Whoever thought a year ago that this changeover, this celebration, would be taken in front of our own computer in a comfortable chair that we probably spend too much time in. Last year we had a fabulous party at the Glen Erin Golf Course, and it was so wonderful to be together with each other and to share a drink and a story. Lesley has given an update that we are still pending on what might happen for a district conference on October the 3rd. Stand by, a decision will have to be made soon. We remain hopeful but cautious that that is something that we can do. And if it doesn't happen, then we will need to collectively decide how best to come together and to do the things that we would typically do at a district conference, to celebrate, to plan, to enjoy fellowship. My personal theme is going to be kind of a relationship one, where I'm going to talk about taking care of self, taking care of each other, and taking care of the planet. So taking care of self certainly can break down to body, mind, and spirit, being kind to yourself, of indulging yourself when you need to, of trying to embrace continuous learning, of learning new skills. If you've got too much spare time on your hands, look for something useful and creative to do. Looking at how we can improve our calmness, but it might be through meditation or through yoga or through listening to good music. Looking at what we can do to expand our relationships, reaching out to each other, getting to know each other better, and of course, the big environmental theme about the planet. We live in a sick planet that has been very much abused for years, and there are many wise people that are telling us how we might change and turn things around, whether that be through green living, changing some of our consumer habits, and certainly relating better to each other. Our new reality, we've heard this through Michael Caruso's talk as well, about communicating differently, about using other media to connect with each other, to meet with each other. Remember that taking care of each other doesn't rely on good luck. We need to find the sweet spot of preparedness or preparation and opportunity. Rotarians are people of action. I want you to know your numbers, and we're going to talk about 6 numbers here that I think might serve as sort of a template. Number one is you as an individual Rotarian. I think number one is also the Rotary Club that you belong to. Number two is the vital support that you get from key people in your life, from your spouse or your partner. It is being able to talk and to hear feedback and to be able to share in your goals and future. Partner organizations, and I said this was 3 because Rotaract is a partner. We talk about our relationship with Interact and getting into the schools and working with younger people, and our emerging partnership with Toastmasters International, to combine that with our skill set, with our learning, with our continuous learning. Number 4 couldn't be anything other than the 4-way test, looking at honesty, truth, ethics, and looking at building better relationships and benefiting humanity. Number 5 speaks to our core values. Those of fellowship, getting along with each other, understanding each other, enjoying each other, and learning from each other. Integrity, walking the talk, keeping your promises, living up to the commitments that we have made as Rotarians, looking at our obligation to be leaders and to invite others to follow in that pathway. Diversity. I joined Rotary when women weren't involved, and what a resource that has been, what great growth potential that has become. It's taken a while for all of those levels of leadership to open up, but I am very hopeful and optimistic that within the next few years, we will have a female international president. We have several rising stars from the cohort of women Rotarians, and I think that will be something that we can really, really look forward to. Diversity just doesn't include gender, but includes the whole spectrum of diversity, ethnic, cultural, and orientation. Our core value of service, of looking at how we as Rotarians can make things better, can make a difference, can give hope to those that have little hope, can give education and training, can give prevention and health care, can do the things that we do through our areas of interest. And leadership. Rotarians are leaders. We have an opportunity to learn from each other, and the continuous learning through Rotary programs, I think, has been a hidden benefit to those of us that have gone through the various levels of training, PETS, GETS, and name an acronym, and there are so many of them. Our 6 areas of focus, I think, of the things that we look at doing to improve things in the world, we know them well. We need to realize that each opportunity that comes from those areas gives us a chance to reach out and change the world. I have a few housekeeping items that I would just like to end with, and many of you have already been notified of that, but my initial plan was to visit each club. Now it looks like that's going to be a virtual visit, but as things change, that might not be the case. So I have notified clubs when I would plan to come, and we can negotiate to make sure that that is going to work. The key dates for our district, for our training, for our assemblies, for our leadership institutes, for the things that we do as a district have also been published, and the versions will be updated as we need to make changes. My commitment to you is that if you have a special meeting, event, or fundraiser, and you would like the district governor there, as district governor, I would be happy to come. If I am unavailable or not able to, the governor team will step in. I'm available for you. There are ways that you can contact me, and I am your leader to serve you and to serve Rotary, and know that working together, we can open some amazing opportunities to make a difference in this coming Rotary year 2021. So with that, I will conclude and say,